Cybersecurity, according to Merriam-Webster, is the measures taken to protect a computer or computer system against unauthorized access or attack. Or in layman terms, it's a prevention against internet scam meant to take advantage of our personal information or records.
Many people may wonder where the history of cybersecurity began. And the history of cybersecurity began, obviously, when technology was first created. Research projects with Bob Thomas were the first of when we saw this. He created a computer program that went across networks to leave a small trail behind saying, "I'm the creeper, catch me if you can." Now, this was no serious issue. There were no social security numbers let out or credit card numbers or anything like that. But another man, Ray Tomlinson, created a replicating computer worm that was an antivirus that got rid of this creeper. Now, this wasn't a real threat to society, but the real threat started in the 70s and 80s, many in other countries. For example, Russia had cyber power as a weapon against people, and also Germany in 1986, where a man named Marcus Hels hacked an internet gateway that revealed military information and was going to sell secrets to the KGB of the Pentagon. This was then no longer a prank and a real threat to society.
As systems become more advanced today, users often fail to take the necessary steps to protect against these cybersecurity breaches. Many individuals become victims of phishing, which is when hackers send emails that resemble the dialect and tone of a reliable company to try and pry personal information from the email recipients. Oftentimes, people unknowingly give out their passwords or their credit card number or their social security number, which can only lead to problems. Another problem today within the lack of poor cybersecurity is malware, which is short for malicious software, which is when people steal data or even go as far as ransom threats to get access back to your records. Looking at on a larger scale, issues with cybersecurity can be found in corporations like large hospital chains, where patient information is readily available and easily hacked. Also in popular stores, they can track your purchases, how you pay, possibly get your credit card number, similar to a breach that happened with Target a couple years ago with the credit card numbers, where they were able to access a lot of people's numbers and then use those against them. There's also problematic leaks in government agencies where top secret information could be leaked, which could be detrimental. Also, oftentimes the regulations and restrictions in place to protect data become outdated faster than they can be replaced, which forces companies to attempt to keep up when they can. And within a major network, there is always a possibility for human error. Employees that lack sufficient training in privacy settings and security measures could be a cause of a major breach.
Data breaches are very common today, and TechTarget.com says that the definition of a data breach is a confirmed incident in which sensitive, confidential, or otherwise protected data has been accessed and or disclosed in an unauthorized fashion. This includes personal information, credit card numbers, social security numbers, healthcare information, corporate information such as customer lists, manufacturing processes, and software source codes. Now, this can cause companies large issues with violations of government policies and industry compliance mandates, and they can also receive large fines and civil litigations. Now, a data breach can be as complex as a hacker hacking into a website and revealing this information, but it can also be as simple as a person looking over a person's shoulder on a computer that has confidential information on it. Companies that are more prone to receiving it are ones with weak passwords, ones that have had stolen devices, ones that have unreliable wireless networks, and ones that follow fake ads with email phishing along with them. As I said, cybersecurity break-ins and data breaches happen daily. It increases because technology is so prominent in our lives today. It can be risky, damaging, costly, and can even break down a company. There are 3 huge examples in our world today. One being the Target incident that happened in 2013, where there was an $18.5 million settlement on cyber attackers. This was the largest settlement that there has ever been over a cyber attack. They gained access through a third party and stole credentials and customer information of 60 million people with credit card codes, card numbers, and many more. George Jepson, a Connecticut Attorney General, said that companies across sectors should be taking their data security policies and procedures seriously. Not doing so potentially exposes sensitive client and consumer information to hackers, which is very true, and we can see through all of these examples. Another example is Yahoo in 2014 with 3 billion users breached, which was the biggest attack in history. There were compromised names, emails, birth dates, phone numbers, and it knocked $350 million off of their sale price. Another was in May of 2014 where eBay was hacked with names, addresses, dates of birth, and passwords all shown. All 145 million users were affected by this, and they used credentials of employees to break into the site and had access for 229 days. This just shows how bad cybersecurity break-ins are and how data breaches can start. We need to stop these, and we need to realize that we can't just rely on technology and we can't rely on websites to keep our information secret.
With the rise of technology, there are so many users and so many different websites, so creating a completely effective cybersecurity system is almost impossible. As technology becomes more advanced, so will cybersecurity, but so will the people trying to hack it. Cybersecurity needs to start with the users. If we all take the measures to ensure our own cyber safety, it makes it much harder for information to be breached. Starting now, internet users have the ability to protect their private information by changing passwords, and doing so by making them more complex with numbers, upper and lowercase letters, and symbols. They can avoid using the same password for everything and installing applications on phones and computers which protect against viruses and dangerous websites. We need to be more careful when sharing personal information, such as credit card info, addresses, names, and phone numbers online, and make sure we are using legitimate websites. On a larger scale, companies should take measures to ensure their own cybersecurity for themselves and their consumers. They can properly train their employees to practice proper cyber hygiene and understand how to handle a situation where their cybersecurity is being breached. This may involve more time and money from the company in the short term to educate their employees, but can potentially save them millions by avoiding a cybersecurity breach. Larger companies and websites can incorporate two-factor authentication to make sure passwords and logins remain protected, which makes it a lot harder for hackers to reach their goal. Apple incorporates this process when you log in on a new device, as well as an app called Duo, which a lot of universities use to practice this two-step authentication. If more companies would take some extra time and some more money to start cybersecurity measures now, it will prevent them from wasting even more time and money in the future trying to recover from a cyber attack. So to reach our goal, we need to make users more aware of how easy it is to access private information online and how their information is truly out there. We need to educate the public more in depth so they know the signs of being hacked and how to fight back. We can also educate our students today by incorporating more computer science classes and educating them more on how cybersecurity works.
This problem with cybersecurity not being secure enough needs to be changed. Each company has information that they want to keep safe. Some of these enterprises want and need to make higher security standards to ensure protection. Each of the links need to perform care routines where they store important information in private sections of their website where it isn't accessible to others. This will take up time to do, but the benefits will be worth the time it takes to secure your website from attackers. According to CSOonline.com, an attacker will always exploit the weakest link and many attacks are easily preventable by performing basic security tasks. Sometimes this is referred to as cyber hygiene. It's important for each enterprise to check and clean out their links for any data that they may have that they do not want others to see. The public and the government will want to comply if they know all of their information online will be secure. In 2014, the CISPA Act was passed, which is the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act, and this was passed in the U.S. House. In the Senate, something was passed called the CISA, or the Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act. And these bills were already passed and it allowed networks these rights to protect against attacks. The government is all for increasing security. They like to have open access to websites and information when they need it. They pass these two acts so that they are able to step in if they know something needs to be fixed.
Information regarding cyber security and solutions that would make it better, we realize that it all starts from the people and companies. The people and companies have to be the first ones to get this cyber breaching and hacking to stop. Now, why, you ask? Why are our ideas and our solutions the best that we could use? Well, Angela mentioned that making your passwords longer, installing applications, companies teaching their employees how to practice cyber hygiene, and even the two-factor authorizations are all the examples of the solutions. Now, why is this the best? So, starting out with making your passwords longer. According to Stop the Hacker, it takes only 10 minutes to crack a lowercase password that is 6 characters long. Add 2 extra uppercase letters and numbers jump to 3 years. Add just 1 more character and some numbers and it'll take 44,530 years to crack. Why is this the best? Well, this is just one of our many solutions, but making the passwords longer would make it harder for any hacker or even anyone to get into. The statistics say that in about 44,000 years, it will take just for somebody to hack something over 8 characters. That's just the minimum. Now, Angela also mentioned companies making sure their employees practice cyber hygiene. Cyber hygiene is extremely important when it comes to these hackers. These hackers will gladly come into these companies and take any information that they can. So making sure that your employees have proper knowledge on what to see or what a hacker might do, they will know when it's coming and hopefully be able to prevent it. She also mentioned installing applications that could save your information stored in your phone. Certain applications make you do security questions or multiple rounds of just about anything to make sure that that is you. Also, there's the two-factor authorization code. Why is that for the better? Well, two-factor authorization codes require a text or email sent to a phone or email or address regarding that information just to make sure that it was you. All of these combined would help an overall amount of people from being hacked or cyber breaching the companies. It is very safe, it is very effective, although it might take some time and money to get it going. In the end, you're most likely going to save your company, and people won't be as upset about losing their information to random people. They want them to go through the process of closing their credit cards down or losing their social security. It's just overall a better idea. Thank you.